Hi friends, in Planet Earth Dating, it's Monday, April 6, 2015. In the Lynn-Body-Mind, it's me, Ra. In the Jamie Body-Mind, it's Glenn. We have a number of other team members with us here in the physical and many upstairs in the non-physical as well.
That's true.
We have the real time crunch that exists in the physical dimension of getting all the assignments done that are assigned to us for the next 3 days. So we are double dipping. We're combining the instructions to have 2 recorded sessions today, putting them into one. We are reviewing the Level 2 class in the Lightworkers Healing Method, Level 2, letting go of the past. And this is the final practice session of that class, the first half of the practice, in which Glenn facilitates for this body-mind today, and the second half of the practice, whoever is at the steering wheel of this body-mind will facilitate for that body-mind. As always, our overarching intention is to do what is ours to do in all dimensions right now, to trigger the awakening right now, and with that, it begins.
Restating the intention to heal the root cause of tightness on the back side of the body and an insufficient amount of financial support, and whatever that represents, in such a way as to align with the soul plan and trigger the awakening whose time has come. And already feeling sensations in the head. This feels like earth level stuff in the head. It's tangly, dark stuff in the head. Big confusion. Still on the level of earth. Big sad, big confusion, big feeling like I'm not doing this right, but I don't know how to do this right.
And what is it you want me to do anyway?
What do you want me to do anyway? And I want to do this right. I really want to do this right, and I see the tangles beginning. It's like I'm seeing time lapse of how the tangles happen.
Yes.
Because it starts all untangled, and then they start to like shake, and they're looking for what it's supposed to do. What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? And it gets all like crunch, and then it solidifies.
I see that.
And then it becomes just like fossil. Feeling these big feelings of, I want to do this right, but I'm not sure what I'm supposed to be doing. I can't hear, I can't see. I can't hear, I can't see. There we go, starting to come up. And big roots all the way down through the planetary energy body. I can see the roots going like, it looks like around a globe and then underneath.
I see that.
Yeah. What am I missing? Asking to be shown. Okay, so my attention's being drawn to the holes that the roots are leaving in the exterior. As I pull the roots out, the holes have bugs in them. Ants. It's like when you pull a weed.
Yes.
And ants have been living around the roots of the weed, and the ants are going crazy. And seeing these places all over the globe where I've been pulling out these roots, and ants everywhere, and it feels good to get the roots out, but then it feels like earth panicky about the ants. The ants can't live there anymore. This isn't a good place for you to live. This isn't a good place for you to live anymore. It's time to go. It's time to move on. Whoosh, and they really don't want to hear that. Angry from the ants. Angry. There's a pulsing motion, supposed to do a pulsing motion, whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. And as we're pulsing, it looks like the earth itself is accordioning in and out. Boom, and it's like squeezing the ants out, kind of. Squish, squish. It looks like squeezing a big zit. And I see the ants just like pouring out. Spoosh, spoosh, spoosh. Pulsing, and the earth is starting to feel a lot better. it was holding on. It was holding on to the ants. It was holding on to the ants. It knew the ants weren't helping. It knew the ants were making it worse, not better.
It didn't know what else to do.
It didn't know what else to do, and it didn't feel clear on what to do with the ants, and so it didn't want to be a jerk. It didn't want to get rid of the ants for no good reason and then find out there was no good reason and have done something it regrets. It didn't want to do something it regretted. There, ooh, there, starting to clear, and now the roots are coming out a lot easier. Pop, 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 merging more deeply for all of us, for all of us, for all of us, for all of us. For all of us who are struggling with confusion and not letting go of things we need to let go of. And seeing us like the pillar we were seeing in a session a few days ago, that elongated earth, where we see like the surface of the earth at the top of the pillar and the center of the earth down at the bottom.
Yes.
You look like that again, and stuff is just moving up through this pillar, really big, old foundational stuff, merging for all of us, for all of us, for all of us who are struggling with confusion and want to do the right thing, moving up. Looks like volcanoes erupting.
Yes.
Root bound. Clip.
No place to
pull,
grow.
No place to grow. And so all the roots just get locked.
Balled up.
Yeah, balled up.
And going the wrong direction.
Yeah. It feels like it's painted itself into a corner, you know?
Yes.
Nowhere to go, nowhere to go, nowhere to go. I've backed myself in here. And I want to do the right thing. I want to make this work. I want to make it okay. But I've backed myself to a corner and I don't see any way out. There we go.
It seems like how Sam feels.
Yeah, a lot like how Sam feels downstairs. That feeling of, whoa. I want to do the right thing. I want to do this how I'm supposed to do this. But I backed myself into a corner and I don't know how I'm going to get out of here. I don't know how I'm going to make this work. For all of us, for all of us. Ooh, there we go. Something big starting to shift in the low back of the pillar, moving up. And now it's like the roots are being pulled in, like the opposite of how weeds are pulled. It's like from underground, something pulling on the roots and whoop, pulling the plant in all the way into the inside of the pillar, the interior of the pillar.
Yes.
And shooting up, boom, boom, and I just got a really strong whiff of dirt, whoosh, 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 and now seeing again like volcanoes exploding, like bubbling underwater, whoosh, whoosh, releasing up, there, grooming the channels up. Restating the intention, flushing with upward flow, restating the intention. The front of the pillar still feels earth, feels like earth pillar, and I have that dirt smell. Seeing right at the front, right at the chest. And now the skin's kind of growing around it, like how trees will grow around nails in the bark.
Yes.
And it's in so deep. And the tree is all grown around it, but it's still not good for the tree, and I can feel it going through the pillar.
This is the planetary pillar?
Yeah, this still feels like Earth, planetary pillar. You can feel it, and it feels like a nail, looks like a nail. You know, it kind of looks like is a spear. A really big spear. Grooming the channels up. Okay, moving in the direction of drawing in the spear. Stop me if this is wrong. That feels like a thumbs up, so merging more deeply. And I feel Earth starting to cry big tears, like big, almost cartoony tears. Starting to draw in the spear. Here into the sacred bubble, drawing it in, drawing it in, drawing it in, collecting the energy of the spear here between strong energy hands, drawing it in, ooh, and seeing the bark like start to grow back together in a way that feels really good, collecting. Woo. Now have the spear, starting to flush it clear. Feeling big sadness, starting to release. This is familiar energy, friend energy.
Betrayal.
Betrayal. It feels like betrayal. It looks like we're at the bottom of a hole that had roots growing over the top, and the roots just got blasted out, and so now sun comes into the hole. And at first there's a feeling of, whoa, that's too bright, but it feels really good. It's warm and it's bright. They're merging more deeply, and how big stuff is starting to like leak out, seep out, pulsing the vortex, sending it up as close to the center of the bullseye as I can get right now. It just starting to leak out like really fast. It started out just looked like the walls were leaking, but now it's like the walls of this pillar are pouring water, muddy water, little bits of leaves, branches, bugs, starting to pulse it up, and I feel Pan below, way down below, maybe all the way down at the base of the pillar.
Hi, Pan.
Shaking the base of the pillar. It's like it's trying to move stuff up. And now the stuff that's clearing feels like not just Earth stuff, way bigger, maybe Galaxy Wallup level.
Maybe.
Like really big stuff. It's coming through the pillar of Earth, the combined pillar of Earth. And the pillar itself is getting cleaned out, lengthened by the process of clearing out this stuff. Whoosh! There it goes. At first it looked like dirt, and now it looks like furniture, bits of houses, whoosh, bits of cars, twisted metal, old chairs, whoosh, toasters, washing machines, whoosh. Starting to clear up, and now it's starting to flow more clear, less muddy, less dark, thinner consistency, lighter now, lengthening. Now it's like this stuff of Wallup is clearing faster, smoother, less chunks, more just liquid, moving up, and this stuff feels really similar to that feeling of wanting to do the right thing and feeling really confused, legitimately confused, and feeling like I've backed myself into a corner. I see Sam down there with Pan working the base of the pillar, and now it's starting to look like they're working the base deeper, longer. Pan's getting really excited about something that he thought was impossible. He keeps saying, I thought this was impossible, but it looks like this might actually happen, this might actually work. And Sam's there with him. Sam is just helping. And they're working the base of the pillar way down, so far down it's like I can see the light of their lanterns,
Yes.
But can't really see them anymore, and they're going for something, and whatever the thing is keeps moving, but Pan expected that. He knows this thing moves, and he really thinks they're going to get there. They just keep moving, just keep going, and now continuing to clear. As they keep going down, more stuff is coming up, and it can continue to clear up through the pillar, whoosh, for all of us. If the pillar were fabric, the fibers of the pillar, like light is shooting up through them, clearing, straightening, lengthening, aligning, more like trauma than like anything else, from a long time ago. Not quite self-inflicted, but inflicted by someone so close to us that it feels like self. As it's starting to work out, feeling a lot of really big sadness. Not really fear, more like anxiety. And this still feels like, I don't know if this is Earth. This may be the level of Saskatch. Because this feels much bigger than Earth. Starting to draw it out. Ooh, this may be level of Saskatch. I see Garth nodding, big nodding. What could have been? And like holding on to that and working it over and over and over again, and it gets stuck and it gets tight. Starting to pull it out. Ooh, this feels like Saskatch. There, shooting up. Regret, big regret. Pulsing the vortex, flushing it away. And it's like the regret is foggy, makes it hard to see clearly. Like we keep going for what's really going on and the regret gets in the way. We keep going for what's really going on and the regret gets in the way. And going back to that place, the regret is gone, but the skin is clear, clean. Now just working it over with gold, healing the wound that we made with regret, or that made regret. It's hard to tell which comes first this time. Feeling soul fragments, feel like Saskatch level. Ready to come back, yes, big nod. Pulsing, big sadness, big regret, big feelings of loss, and it's all my fault, and I messed this up really badly. Starting to pour in the soul fragments. Starting to smooth the soul fragments over the pillar. Feeling them starting to click into place. Whoosh, big light at the back, boom, and there's a lot of it goes way up in the sky pillar, way up at the top of the pillar, higher than we think, way higher than we think. Asking for a secondary release. Pulsing, vortex, moving the vortex through us and around us. Clearing, cleansing. Applying the grace, correcting the errors. Whoa. Big, huge, massive errors coming up. Whoa. Higher. Playing the grace.
What are the errors? What dimension?
These feel like bigger, like Galaxy Wallup size.
Physical or non-physical or both?
I would say both, because both. Heavier on the non-physical than on the physical, but there's definitely like shards of physical stuff coming
on both
up.
Sides.
Yeah, and really big and really old, like old and rusty, rotting. Old, and the emissions too, whoosh, super old. They look like ships being dragged up from the bottom of the ocean. Big, huge emissions. Cities from underground. Big, huge emissions, including the emissions with grace. Playing the grace, whoosh. Seeing a stream of these, they look like boats from under the ocean coming up, boom, and faces, lots of faces flashing by that feel like huge Galaxy Wallup level, mostly non-physical, some physical, little bits of physical. I see a hand grabbing it.
I do too.
I'm not sure if it's the same hand. It's a thinner hand than the one we saw yesterday.
It is. It might have been Luce's hand because now I see them talking about it, him and that college professor.
That's true.
In that classroom with all those other non-physical dimension presences.
That's true. I see them talking about it.
Yeah. And I see some head scratching going on.
Yeah, confusion.
Wow, what does this mean?
What does this mean?
Okay.
That's true.
Okay.
Okay.